Over the last 4 years, Trump has used his position as the leader of the country to delay and stonewall litigations. But come January 20th afternoon, Trump will lose the cover the presidency has provided him. One of the most important cases that quickly comes to the top is the case involving his former lawyer Micheal Cohen. Micheal Cohen went to jail. He pleaded guilty for a wide range of offenses, including arranging hush money payments to keep women silent. Trump, of course, has denied all the allegations. The Justice Department, as a matter of policy, will not indict a sitting president. The prosecution in Cohen's case charged Cohen successfully. If the attorney of a client is charged, what are the odds of the client escaping? Not much. The second one, and this is a set of cases I believe, comes from Manhattan District Attorney Cyrus Vance Jr. He has an active criminal investigation into Trump and his business. He is investigating Trump for insurance and financial fraud. The case has been tied up for months as Trump has been fighting the grand jury subpoena that Vance issued to the president's personal accounting firm. And Vance's office is seeking 8 years of Trump's tax returns and financial records. The president fought the subpoena all the way to the Supreme Court last summer and lost, although the High Court has left the door open for him to raise other legal challenges. Then the NY State Attorney General Letitia James has a civil investigation going on into Trump's business. And in this case, a lot of you may have heard she is looking in to see if the Trump organization inflated and deflated the value of the properties, inflating for getting a loan and deflating it for tax purposes. I think Micheal Cohen spoke about this in his testimony, saying Trump has been doing this for a very long time. I have just given you 3 cases that I think as the ones that have the potential to yield results a bit quickly, but there are tons of other cases as well. Here is what former Solicitor General had to say about Trump's legal troubles after he leaves office. I will see you after the clip is over.
Joining our conversation to help us make sense of it all, Neil Katyal, former acting U.S. Solicitor General, Georgetown University professor, and lucky for us, an MSNBC contributor. Hi there.
Hey, how are you?
Tell us about these investigations. And I have to tell you, I spoke to a Trump ally last night who said that he saw as a motive for Donald Trump's refusing to concede and going along with what he thought even Trump would see as some of Rudy's just madness with the hair dye leaking down his face. Trump hates a bad TV performance. And it was really one of the nicest things you could say about Rudy yesterday was that it was a bad TV performance, is a grift, that he is fundraising for his legal defense and that he will face audits and lawsuits and investigations into his businesses and his finances for the rest of his life. Is that accurate, you think?
Yes, I'm sure. And like so much else that Trump does, it's actually counterproductive. So, Nicole, you've got both state and federal investigations. And at the federal level, Trump has been protected so far by a get out of jail free card. As a sitting president, the Justice Department has said he can't be indicted. And that's why even though the Mueller report it's found 10 different instances of federal crimes, they said we can't indict a sitting president. But all of that expires in exactly 60 days. So you've got a federal investigation. And then you have, as you were saying, the state investigation by Cy Vance. And there again, Trump tried to block that investigation, saying he was a sitting president, lost that unanimously in the Supreme Court. So that's moving forward. So now you've got Trump trying to do all of this ridiculousness around the election, I do think with an idea to try and raise his war chest to defend himself. But it also actually perversely makes it really hard for a future Biden attorney general or for a New York prosecutor to look the other way. Because even if Trump had hoped to avoid criminal prosecution, his post-election behavior basically guarantees it. I mean, you've got a guy who's right now literally committing, if not crimes, pretty darn close, even when he's being forced out the door in terms of conspiring with these Michigan canvassers or these state legislators. It is a federal crime. It's a state crime to try and take someone's right to vote away. And that is what Trump is doing. Indeed, he's trying to perpetrate the largest act of disenfranchisement in our lifetime. Hundreds of thousands of votes he's trying to throw out. That is, if he's conspiring to do it, and it sure looks like he may be, a crime.
Okay, let me pull aside the federal crimes and focus on that, because it sounds like what you're saying. I mean, and I also want to dispel this notion that Joe Biden has to decide whether or not to prosecute Donald Trump. That would be a continuation of the way Trump has handled prosecutions. Isn't it the fact that whomever Joe Biden selects as an attorney general will, I mean, if their crimes were committed, they'll be investigated and prosecuted, full stop. Joe Biden won't have anything to do with it. Aren't we kind of looking at this question of what federal criminal exposure Donald Trump has in the wrong way?
So 100% I agree with you. Joe Biden really has always respected the Justice Department. He knows exactly how it operates, and it doesn't operate with the person in the White House telling the Justice Department what to do. So I think what he's going to do is he's going to appoint a great attorney general, and she or he will make that determination. What I am saying is I think it's actually really hard to look the other way, even if you want to. Even if you want to say the country should move on or something, it's hard to give a hardened criminal a pass. And that is how Trump is behaving.
2 days ago, I came across this article on NBC News, and it has been bothering me ever since. Biden hopes to avoid divisive Trump investigations, preferring unity. The NBC article goes on to add President-elect Joe Biden has privately told advisors that he does not want his presidency to be consumed by investigations of his predecessor, according to people familiar with the discussions. But President-elect Joe Biden has no need or the right to talk about any investigation for that matter. He has the power, and we have all used to the lock her up chants encouraged and egged on by the current president and his efforts to influence government institutions. For 4 years, the Democrats have said, correctly, that the president should not be interfering in the decision making of DOJ or FBI. The standard that they asked Trump to maintain applies to them as well. Biden is saying the right thing, that he will keep away from DOJ's decisions. But the problem is when he also expresses his desire to not have his administration consumed by Trump lawsuits and his aides make that desire public, the message to the people working in the administration becomes clear. They might hear it as the president does not want to investigate the former president. After January 20th, Donald Trump is a former president, a regular citizen of the United States. We cannot apply one set of law to him because he was a president once and apply another set of law for everyone else. If he had committed a wire fraud or tax fraud or obstructed investigations, then it is up to the DOJ to decide if they want to pursue the case, or state attorney generals to decide if they want to move forward, and then there will be the courts. The Biden administration should have zero role in it. Expressing Biden's wishes that he doesn't want his presidency to be consumed by investigations is as wrong as Trump asking Comey to go light on Flynn. I don't know what these aides were thinking, leaking Biden's private opinion to news outlets. It's just flat out wrong. Thanks for watching. If you like the content, please subscribe. That is the only way this channel will grow. Otherwise, it will stay hidden under a pile of rubble. Thank you.